So the myth of you being broken is not true. And the reason that is because emotional eating is a coping mechanism. So let's dive in and chat about why this myth isn't true. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist specializing in emotional eating. And I wanted to talk about this myth. This was something I talked about recently in one of my 3-day live courses. And a lot of women feel like they're broken when they have this emotional eating pattern, when they have this coping mechanism. They think something's wrong with them, they think something's wrong with their body, and they just can't seem to fix themselves. And I totally get it. When I was emotionally eating myself, I thought something was really wrong with me because I looked around and everyone seemed to have a normal relationship to food. They didn't overeat. They seemed to not be hungry all the time. And I just thought that something was wrong with me and I needed to fix myself. But that could be further from the truth. You are not broken. You don't need to fix yourself. We need to understand what emotional eating is. It's a coping mechanism. So a coping mechanism is not something we're born with a deficit or we're broken or our hunger cues don't work. It's something we develop when we're really young, when we are children and we experience any stress, uncomfortable emotions, situations that we can't move through and process on our own that are too big. This results in us feeling really overwhelmed. And if we don't have parents or caregivers there to help us navigate these situations, to move through them, to help us feel regulated in our nervous system by being that calm container for us, helping us process and move through that and move through these unresolved situations to resolution. This creates a trauma, an unresolved situation, and it makes us hold on to this distress and these uncomfortable emotions in our body versus processing them and allowing them to move through us. And so these uncomfortable emotions, this discomfort, it stays in our body. And so we want to do anything we can to cope with the situation, cope with the discomfort that's arising in our body, in our life. And so as children, we are just trying to survive. So we go to a coping mechanism. And food is a pretty obvious coping mechanism. Food, when we eat it, it's usually connected to love, to our mother and being breastfed. Food also physiologically in the body produces endorphins, feel-good chemicals. So it kind of gives us a band-aid, a buffer of feeling okay when we're feeling all of that discomfort in our body. And feeling all of that discomfort in our body can make us feel like something's wrong with us, that we're broken because we can't seem to get rid of it. And it's only when we eat food, we tend to feel okay. And so this pattern, it is not as obvious when we're younger. It's not like we're sitting around eating 5 bags of potato chips. It kind of slowly develops, but the seeds are planted when we're very young in childhood. Then, as life presents more stressors, this pattern can grow. It's almost like a snowball rolling down the hill. And so we get different messages about how can we be loved and accepted, which is what we're deeply craving, that acceptance, that being with, because we didn't have that at the time when this happened. And so we are chasing maybe the right body. Maybe our bodies have shifted because we are emotionally eating and shifting, and we are in this stress state. So we now don't have the body we think is acceptable. And so we're chasing after the diets to control our hunger. Or we don't feel good because we have this out of control hunger. We're now chasing the body maybe through the extreme exercise or just doing whatever we can. We're trying to get to that point, that place we think is acceptable. And so I've had clients, they've got this messaging and we get it from our society. If we look a certain way, if we're a certain size, if we act a certain way, then finally we're going to have that acceptance. And so we're chasing that. But we're chasing it in a really superficial way, in a surface way that's not going to ever fill that hole. We have to go deeper. And so it's not that you're broken or need to be fixed. You just don't know how to tap into this deeper layer to resolve this pattern and to become more whole. And so if you understand that this pattern was created from that seed and it's now sort of snowballed into this coping mechanism, then we know we need to go backwards. And so we need to start creating a healthier relationship to food, our body, and our emotions. That's how we're going to get to the deeper levels and resolve this issue at the root, because now we're going to relate to food in a healthier way versus the dieting or the manipulative way we've been taught in our society. We're going to relate to our body in a way that is accepting of it, meeting some of those needs, not being in that shame spiral that triggers emotional eating, and then being and getting into the deeper roots of these emotions that are now stored in the body, these traumas, and getting to them at that root level, clearing them out, but also learning new ways to move forward, to be with our emotions, to move through life. And this is how we're going to heal this coping mechanism. And this is how we move from coping to thriving, because when we're nourishing our bodies with amazing food, when we are accepting of our bodies and moving through our emotions, this is what life is meant to be. Shifts our nervous system from that stress mode, that survival mode, to rest and digest, to a calm, peaceful, easeful state. This is where confidence and ease live and are healthy. And so this is what we need to do. So if you ever thought you were broken, you're not broken. And if you'd like to dive deeper into how to actually implement these steps to get to that resolution, that peace, ease, and confidence around food and in your body, I'd love to invite you to find out more about the Emotional Eating Evolution program. This is what we do inside of the program. We are step by step moving towards this. We are doing the deeper work on all of these layers to create that healthy relationship to food, your body, and your emotions. So you're no longer obsessing about food, no longer obsessing about your body, no longer trying to plug holes with food. You will feel that aha. And through this program, you get the support and guidance and tools to dive deeper to finally resolve this pattern at the root level in a sustainable way. So if you're curious about the program, you can find out more at the link below, and you can also apply. So I just want to say, if you have any questions for me, let me know. Please be sure to like and subscribe. I hope this video gave you a lot of value, and I can't wait to share more with you, and I hope you have a great day.